Casting the Lots by Ginzberg. Haman's hatred, first directed against Mordecai alone, grew apace until it included Mordecai's colleagues, all the scholars, whom he sought to destroy, and not satisfied with even this, he plotted the annihilation of the whole of Mordecai's people, the Jews. 106. Before beginning to lay out his plans, he desired to determine the most favorable moment for his undertaking, which he did by casting lots. First of all, he wanted to decide on the day of the week. The scribe Shimshai began to cast lots. Sunday appeared inappropriate, being the day on which God created heaven and earth, whose continuance depends on Israel's existence. Were it not for God's covenant with Israel, there would be neither day nor night, neither heaven nor earth. Monday showed itself equally unpropitious for Haman's devices, for it was the day on which God effected the separation between the celestial and the terrestrial waters, symbolic of the separation between Israel and the heathen. Tuesday, the day on which the vegetable world was created, refused to give its aid in bringing about the ruin of Israel, who worships God with branches of palm trees. Wednesday, too, protested against the annihilation of Israel, saying, "On me the celestial luminaries were created, and like unto them Israel is appointed to illumine the whole world. First destroy me, and then thou mayest destroy Israel." Thursday said, "O Lord, on me the birds were created, which are used for sin offerings. When Israel shall be no more, who will bring offerings? First destroy me, and then thou mayest destroy Israel." Friday was unfavorable to Haman's lots because it was the day of the creation of man, and the Lord God said to Israel, "Ye are men." Least of all was the Sabbath day inclined to make itself subservient to Haman's wicked plans. It said, "The Sabbath is a sign between Israel and God. First destroy me, and then thou mayest destroy Israel." 107. Baffled, Haman gave up all idea of settling upon a favorable day of the week. He applied himself to the task of searching out the suitable month for his sinister undertaking. As it appeared to him, Adar was the only one of the 12 owning naught that might be interpreted in favor of the Jews. The rest of them seemed to be enlisted on their side. In Nisan, Israel was redeemed from Egypt. In Iyar, Amalek was overcome. In Siwan, the Ethiopian Zerah was smitten in the war with Asa. In Tammuz, the Amorite kings were subjugated. In Ab, the Jews won a victory over Arad, the Canaanite. In Tishri, the Jewish kingdom was firmly established by the dedication of Solomon's temple, while in Heshwan the building of the temple at Jerusalem was completed. Kislev and Tebet were the months during which Sihon and Og were conquered by the Israelites, and in Shebet occurred the sanguinary campaign of the 11 tribes against the godless children of Benjamin. Not alone was Adar a month without favorable significance in Jewish history, but actually a month of misfortune, the month in which Moses died. What Haman did not know was that Adar was the month in which occurred also the birth of Moses. 108. Then Haman investigated the 12 signs of the zodiac in relation to Israel, and again, it appeared that Adar was the most unfavorable month for the Jews. The first constellation, the ram, said to Haman, "Israel is a scattered sheep, and how canst thou expect a father to offer his son for slaughter?" The bull said, "Israel's ancestor was the firstling bullock." The twins, "As we are twins, so Tamar bore twins to Judah." The crab, "As I am called Saretin, the scratcher, so it is said of Israel, all that oppress him he shall scratch sorely." The lion, "God is called the lion, and is it likely the lion will permit the fox to bite his children?" The virgin, "As I am a virgin, so Israel is compared unto a virgin." The balance, "Israel obeys the law against unjust balances in the Torah, and must therefore be protected by the balance." The scorpion, "Israel is like unto me, for he too is called scorpion." The archer, "The sons of Judah are masters of the bow, and the bows of mighty men directed against them will be broken." The goat, "It was a goat that brought blessing unto Jacob, the ancestor of Israel, and it stands to reason that the blessing of the ancestor cannot cause misfortune to the descendant." The water-bearer, "His dominion is likened unto a bucket, and therefore the water-bearer cannot but bring him good." 109. The fishes were the only constellation which, at least according to Haman's interpretation, made unfavorable prognostications as to the fate of the Jews. It said that the Jews would be swallowed like fishes. God, however, spake, "O thou villain, fishes are sometimes swallowed, but sometimes they swallow, and thou shalt be swallowed by the swallowers." 110. And when Haman began to cast lots, God said, "O thou villain, son of a villain, what thy lots have shown thee is thine own lot, that thou wilt be hanged." 111.